Interesting, I was just having a conversation with our corporate engineer, Bill Vickery, who was asking me, what's the big thing about March 1? Well, it happens to be the beginning of Emergency Preparedness Week from the National Weather Service. And by the time we get to the 7-day forecast, we're going to talk about the importance of that here in the 4 states. With the time being, our March 1st starts off absolutely gorgeous, and our temperature is going to be right on par from where they traditionally would be, with an average high of 55 and 33. Now, speaking of averages, that yearly precipitation dating back to January 1 is off by a whopping 1/100th of an inch. Now, if we date back to 2020, we actually were in excess of 6 inches of that time this year. Now, another thing as well, you have to remember, astronomical spring. Now, that doesn't start until March 20th when we have the spring equinox, but here, for record-keeping purposes, we call March 1 the beginning of meteorological spring. Tanya throwing her arm up over there. That was very nice of you to remember that. 49 is where we stand in Joplin, 48 in Parsons, and 46 in Nevada. So temperatures very, very close together. And really the reason we're not going to see the big warm up until the middle of the week is because our winds come in from the north still. No big gusts. We were actually sitting at about 25 miles per hour in Grove and Joplin early this morning, but now we're back down to single digits. And the Skywatch Storm Tracker clean as can be. That's a good thing, because look at what's down to our southeast. Got a little mess on our hands. It's rolling through Texas, Arkansas, and Louisiana. Thunderstorm activity. Like I said, this is the beginning of Severe Weather Emergency Preparedness Week. So while we'll actually be okay for our tornado drills tomorrow morning, this is going to be an area of the country where they are not allowed to do them. That's because our thunderstorm outlook for the next 2 days is going to roll right through the Gulf. I think the important thing to notice is when we looked at it this weekend, we saw a little bit of movement to the north. Not going to be the case, but they are going to have to put up with flood warnings through the Tennessee River Valley, up through the Ohio River Valley, and then that thing is going to make its way all the way to the northeastern portion of the United States. We were talking about this morning. In some form or fashion, you can go from New Mexico all the way through the Gulf up to Maine and Canada, and you're going to find precipitation. So the fact that we stay everything to our southeast, good news for us, because there was a chance it was going to try to scoot to the north, but I think we're going to be okay. So as we push future track through Tuesday, there you go. You got to get on the other side of the Mississippi River right there through Memphis. We're going to be looking fine back into the 50s. And actually, a nice warming front is what's going to hit us for Wednesday and Thursday. Gulf moisture pushes up. However, cold front recedes, so we don't get the collision course. Able to have just a marvelous first week of March. We're in the 60s on Wednesday and Thursday. Friday, we are going to see some widespread rain, but at the same point in time, since we're talking about emergency preparedness and severe weather season, we're not looking at anything severe on Friday, just some showers. As we push into the weekend, sunny and close to 60 on Saturday, more sunshine, and mild Sunday at 60. Tanya, do want to point out, tomorrow morning, 10 a.m., that's where we're going to have statewide tornado drills in Arkansas, Missouri, Kansas, Oklahoma. All 4 states. Great time to sit down, talk to your kids about it. Also a great time at home to get together that kit. Make sure you got what you need. And this is kind of a hayslip thing that I like to point out. Never forget to put an extra pair of shoes in your emergency kit.
Because inevitably, if something happens in the middle of the night, you either don't know where your shoes are or you're not wearing them.
Right. Take that old pair of tennis shoes that you have that you're like, oh, these are my yard shoes. Oh, I don't need these shoes. Put that in your emergency preparedness kit. It's amazing how those come in so often if something were to happen.
One thing our staff in our newsroom is working on today is updating a complete listing of storm shelters in the 4-state area, and you'll be able to find those on our website at koamnewsnow.com.
And we're going to do this the entire week. We're going to hammer this home until the cows come home.
All right, thanks, Michael.